I'm Sam DiMaggio, and welcome to this week's The Local. This week, I'm excited to introduce you to Julie Jost. Julie is the owner of the OG Coffee and Wine Bar. Welcome, Julie. I'm so excited to have you join us this week.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here and chatting with you.
Julie, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and about your business, why you started the OG?
So our family is local, and in college, I worked at a coffee shop. I studied all the time at different coffee shops, and I just kind of always had in my head that someday, maybe when I retire, I will do this, go work at a well-known coffee shop and maybe teach them how to do customer service, or I would open my own one. So the time came and I went for it before retirement.
So when you and I first met, you were not working at a coffee shop. You did not own the coffee shop. You came to me at the city and you said, I have a dream. Can you tell the community how you found me and a little bit about what your plans were?
So a fellow resident of Chan, right, that works for the city said, you know what, you probably need to talk to this individual, Samantha. And so I was fortunate that that connection was made because I may not have stumbled upon you otherwise. And we just got to talking. And I think in talking with you, I discovered how you could help. And as you know, I shopped around for different locations. I really wanted to be in Chanhassen, but at the time, the location was not popping up for me. So I visited neighboring towns and I got to know the other, Samanthas in the neighboring cities, that role. And I would just say, super helpful in the fact that you also could connect me to individuals, whether it be fellow business owners. I may not have thought, how could talking with a certain individual who's a different type of business entirely could be beneficial to me, but it's a relationship I still have, and you helped me to create many of those. So I'm very thankful for that.
And one thing that you and I, when we first met and you came to me and you said, I have this business idea, this business plan. I often have people come to me with their business ideas. How far along down the line do you think you were? Do you think you were at a 10% business plan?
Yeah.
A 90% business plan? Where do you think you were with your business planning and your business concept?
It's a good question because I come from a business planning background. My professional world was strategic planning. So I probably thought I was really far along, but one of the individuals you put me in contact with, Lee Hall, super helpful, very thankful for all of the conversations that he and I had. And I showed him my business plan and he was able to share with me, okay, here are some of the gaps or the level of detail you'd need to go further into if I was going to be pursuing an SBA loan as an example, or just to have my ducks in a row as a landlord would want to consider me as a, reliable tenant. For years to come. So I felt like I was far along, but some of the resourcing that I started to then connect with helped round that out. The concept of this, I would say, was locked in, but the details of financial projections and market research was something that came a little bit longer or down the road.
So when you and I met it a year and a half ago, you had this business plan, you were working on things, and one of the people I referred you to was Lee Hall with Next Stage. Can you talk a little bit about what Lee Hall and Next Stage, what they do and how they were valuable to you as a resource?
Yeah. Perhaps they help in different ways based on where an individual is at in their stage when they come to them. But for me, it was just getting comfortable talking about the business concept. Because what I didn't realize at that point is that I would then have many future conversations with potential landlords, potential partners. And to be able to talk clearly about the business concept is really important if you're trying to get somebody to buy into that idea and perhaps go on the journey with you. So he helps to round out your story. He looks at your business plan and he's pretty financially oriented, so can offer up questions and ideas that really make you feel confident walking away that you have the right financial projections or thinking to be able to get to those and feel good about what you'd be building towards. He was a confidence boost, honestly, in many ways. So as I was shopping around at different locations, I could call him and say, okay, this is what I'm hearing about this location. What do you know? What do you think? What questions should I be asking? So I'd say a soundboard, financial, I don't want to say advisor, but just a financial minded individual to look at the business plan and help round it out. And then he also has, strong relationships in the different cities in this county, and he opened some doors for me as well.
Well, one of the things I like to joke about is kind of being a matchmaker. And so that kind of makes me happy hearing that one of the matches I made was very successful.
Very
Obviously, you had a need. I was able to match you with a resource.
Yeah.
And And were there any charges? Did you have any charges using
No.
these services?
Completely free. And at the end of the day, it really was just his perspective and his guidance. We didn't need any financial backing, but I know that that's something that his organization can offer.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it was totally free. And I talk about him to anybody else that's in this area and pursuing something similar.
And I always tell people, I think having that knowledge and that resource saves you money.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you wouldn't have had that and you wouldn't have been able to provide that advice, it would have cost you money probably in the long run.
And it would have taken more time, I think, for me to get to opening day, right? Because there was a point when I was talking to a bank and his conversations with me helped me feel confident about talking with them.
Well, excellent. I'm so glad you're able to use that resource.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about you and your business. What makes you and the OG Coffee and Wine Bar unique? What is special about you and your business?
I think it's the space. Every day I walk in and I just smile and feel relaxed. It smells good in here. It welcomes you, which I had hoped to do. And I see people, right? We've been open a month now. I see people just hanging out. And I find myself as they leave saying, thanks for hanging out with us today. So I wanted a space where people could come and feel comfortable to just be whatever it is that they want to do, work, converse, play games, which people are, pulling up decks of cards or bringing in their own games and playing. So it's the space, in my opinion, that I thought would differentiate us and which is what I think is happening.
Do you have one product that you have that's really been a hit that kind of surprised you?
The chai latte is pretty popular. And if I'm completely honest, I picked it based on what the brand packaging looked like. It had a really cool mermaid on it, and I love that. So I ordered it. And it's just really great. It's more spice than sweet. And that's been probably our top selling item.
Well, in full disclosure, that is my favorite thing to order when I come in. And you did recommend that to me. How have the wines been selling? I haven't been able to come in for any wine yet, but I know that that's also been a popular thing in the evenings for people to come in for wines.
It has been. And I'd say that that's going well also. The concept is to keep it simple. I only have on my menu board space for 8 varieties. I rotate out the labels every couple of weeks just to kind of keep it fresh and try new things. And people are excited to, try new things. I'm open to recommendations. Like before opening, I tried to get some conversation going on social media of tell me your go-to drinks so I could try to have some favorites available too. So it's been good.
One thing that you and I have talked about, and I know this was important to you even before you opened, is you're local. Your husband, Dan, is local. You have children who live locally.
Yeah.
What is important to you about supporting the local community or about keeping your business local? Can you talk a little bit about why it was important for you to remain local?
I think there's a charm about it. There's typically a passion behind the story with it as well. And I think that most communities want to be able to know the people that they're supporting. And it's a two-way street, right? You get to know your customers, they get to know you, they get to know your product in your space or whatever it is that you might sell. And for me, I wanted to be part of that and create that sense of community for myself, for my family, but also to create it again in the space where people can come and create that for themselves. I think a city like Chanhassen can really thrive when there's more local small businesses. And it's not just local for me, it's female oriented too. So, my merchandise here is from other local or small or female owned businesses. And I'm trying to do that wherever we can. Many of our ingredients that we sell are local. So our milk is from, a dairy farm in Forest Lake. Some of our syrups are made from ingredients that come from Minnesota farms. So trying to do it wherever I can.
I know we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like the residents of Chanhassen to know about yourself or about your business?
I'm just really happy to be here. The words are reassuring that people walk in and say, thank you for bringing this to Chanhassen. We've needed this. We're excited for this. If there's something I've been pleasantly surprised about is that chivalry still exists. Like people come in for dates or mom and daughter come in and get coffees together and people are just hanging out and talking and connecting. And I love that. And I hope I can continue to be a place where people want to come do that in Chanhassen.
Well, we are so glad that you're here and we just appreciate you making this investment in Chanhassen. I just want to remind the residents that local is more than just a zip code. Living local means supporting our local businesses. Until next time, Chanhassen.